right, here we go. Today we have brothers Ola and Abel Osundairo, who were involved in the Jussie Smollett staged attack. Welcome to VladTV.
Thank you for having us, Vlad.
Thank you.
Well, a lot of people know about the situation, but they don't necessarily know about you two. So I want to start in the very beginning, because you guys are of Nigerian descent, but you were actually born and raised in the States, right?
Yes, sir, here in Chicago.
Okay, and your parents were immigrants?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so what was Chicago like growing up in the early 2000s?
So first we started in the north side, up north by Wrigleyville, or in Wrigleyville we started. And eventually we moved to the south side of Chicago. And we did, 4 or 5 years, I think, in the south side. The south side is where we remember the most while we were in Chicago before we went to Nigeria. And the south side is where we cultivated ourselves. We got to learn more about who we were, or developed ourselves more. That's where I think I was in first grade to fifth grade on the south side. And there was a lot of good memories there.
Yeah, the South Side was a fun time for us. We got to live around a more diverse group of people. When we were up north, it was mostly white people we stayed around. And once we moved to the South Side, it was a bit of white people, but there was Hispanics, a couple blacks, but we stayed around mostly Hispanics.
Okay, and there's 5 siblings altogether?
There's 5 of us, yeah. 3 boys, 2 girls.
Uh-huh. Where are you guys situated in that? In the middle somewhere, or?
I'm number 2 and he's number 3.
I'm in the middle, of course. Can't you tell?
Got it. Now, I mean, usually Nigerian parents are really strict. In your case, was that the case?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yes. They're very strict, and for a good reason. They expect their children to behave a certain way, and they expect excellency. I'm excellent, but in my own way, of course. And that's what they wanted. So yes, they were strict. They wanted us to get good grades. They wanted our behavior to be a certain way. So they really did things to make sure that that was the case.
Yeah, they actually wanted us to be doctors and lawyers and stuff.
Engineers.
Like that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That was always the plan.
Right.
For them, for our
typical
lives.
Yeah, typical immigrant parents. My parents are immigrants as well, so yeah. I can relate.
Yeah, and I think also because they're Nigerian. If you know, Nigerians are they have the highest education in America. I believe they're more ethnicity-wise, or not ethnicity, nationality-wise, Nigeria has the most amount of people with higher degrees in America as a group. So that just shows you that Nigerian parents, how they behave, how they think.
Okay, so you guys went to Lakeview High School in Chicago?
He went to
Lakeview High School. I finished high school in Nigeria.
Oh, so were you guys like going back and forth like as kids?
Well, we did go back and forth as kids. However, when we went to Nigeria and stayed there for a few years. And then we came back, and that's when I went to Lakeview High School.
Yeah, so after I graduated 8th grade, we went to Nigeria. Him and my sister stayed for 2 years, and I stayed for 3 years. And I was able to graduate high school in 3 years.
Okay, and one of you went to Quincy University, right?
Both of us.
Both of you guys went to Quincy. Okay, so you guys went to Quincy University and you guys graduated.
Yes, we did. We both graduated.
Okay, what'd you guys study?
I studied business management.
And I double majored in theater and biology. So I have a biology degree and a theater degree, and I was in an honors program. And graduated with a 3.5 GPA.
There you go. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Well, in 2011, Ola, you had a situation
Yep.
where you were charged with attempted murder in a stabbing situation.
Yep.
Can you talk about what happened?
Yeah, I could talk about it now. So back then, I knew. This is when I came back from Nigeria. I was attending Truman College at the time, getting my associates. I graduated with my associates from Truman. And let me take this off. There were some people that I knew in my neighborhood that went to my brother's school. They were in high school. I knew them from the neighborhood. They were part of this gang called the Latin Eagles. So I was cool with them, used to talk to them, hang out with them and stuff like that. So there was a time when some dude came from another school, some black dude came from another school and disrespected them somehow, was checking them somehow. So I don't know for what reason. I guess because I was older, they asked me to come and talk to this kid. It was a kid from high school. Asked me to come talk to the kid. So I came, spoke to him, and was telling him like I was actually talking to him like gently, like, bro, like you can't be coming to other people's neighborhoods and checking them like you don't know what could happen to you. And out of nowhere, he takes a puff out of his cigarette and blows it in my face. After he blows it in my face, I still off him. And once I still off him, that's when these other three guys jump in and start whooping his ass. Once I see them start beating his ass, I see one of them pull out a knife and stab the dude with a knife. Once I saw that, I backed up like, hey, this is going too far. And I got out of it. So after all that was done, a couple days later, police picked me up and they charged all of us with the attempted murder, even though I'm not the one that did the stabbing, but they just grouped us all in as one.
And me being who I am, while he was doing that, I was playing a tennis match. I was on the tennis team in high school, so I was doing that while he was doing that.
Okay, well, Ola, because of that situation, you end up getting 2 years probation.
2 years probation.
Right. You had to pay a $674 fine.
Yeah, I don't think I ever paid that, but yeah.
Right. So essentially, it was kind of a slap on the wrist, more or less.
Yeah, it was. The judge, it was a intervention from God, honestly, because I had a judge before the judge that gave me the probation. There was a judge that was residing on the bench that actually wanted me to get some time, but something happened to him. He got sick or ill or something, and they replaced him with another judge. And this judge was like, okay. And I just graduated from Truman and I was going to Quincy and I was coming back and forth from Quincy to the court case. And this judge was like, okay, this guy is in school. This is his first offense. All right, we're going to give you probation and call it a day. So it was an intervention from God.
Yeah, congrats, man. That could have ended up a lot worse.
Yeah.
Okay, did you end up getting like a felony or a misdemeanor on your record because of that?
Yeah. I pled guilty to aggravated battery.
Okay, is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
Felony.
Okay, did that change your life now that you got a felony on your record?
A little bit. I tried to sign up for Uber a couple years back and they didn't let me sign up for it. So I could say it affected it like that, but for the most part, no.
Okay. Well, and then in 2015, you guys started a party and decoration business?
Yeah, we had a business called Party Time that we started, and that was as soon as we got out of college. Well, we're very entrepreneurial, and we learned that from our parents. Our parents were are very entrepreneurial. So we decided with my mother to start a party, like a party city, but our business was called Party Time. So we decided to start a business, and we did that on the northwest side of Chicago.
Okay. But then that next year in 2016, it showed that you guys filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, we had to file for bankruptcy because the business wasn't doing too well.
Yeah, the economy and the area that we were in wasn't the greatest, and that, that's business though. Things, you try stuff out and it works or it doesn't work, but you still move on to the next thing, and we did.
Right. Because you guys had, well, Ola, you had a home remodeling business also.
Yeah, yeah, I started a home renovation business called Collage Homes.
Okay. Now, during this time, were you guys already like bodybuilding and working out and everything else like that?
Yeah, we were always working out. We weren't bodybuilding yet. We started bodybuilding in 2018, I believe, or was it 2017?
That was around that
2000,
2017,
yeah,
18.
2017, 2018 is when we started bodybuilding. But we were always working out, and we got that from our athletic background in college and high school. So we were always athletes, and
Yeah. We played football. We played NCAA Division II football while we
Yeah.
was in college. So.
and I ran track. I was on the soccer team in college and high school. In college, it was short lived, but I still made it. I was the only black dude on the team for for a few weeks.
Okay. Well, at what point did you guys want to start to pursue acting, and what led up to, actually joining Empire and being on the cast over there?
So since I was young, I've always been into acting. I was always interested in it. In high school, after school, I had a program that I created a play, and I acted in the play. My name was Tech in that show, and I changed my voice. My voice was like this: "My name is Tech." So that's how I sounded throughout the whole show. But in college, I majored in theater. So I was in a few productions, well, more than a few productions in college. So I just kept it going until we got out of college. And that's when I first started. I believe my first role was Chiraq with Spike Lee. He was the director and producer for Chiraq, and that's where I first got my first principal role on Chiraq. Spike Lee hand selected me to be a principal performer.
Yeah, and I started the acting around college time as well. Was doing theater and act in college, and after that, we
Yeah, because he wanted to like copy me,
okay,
of course.
yeah, copy him. But yeah, after college, we had joined this chair dance group where me, him, and a college friend of ours that came to live with us in Chicago, but he's from Florida. So we joined this chair dance group, and we were like the sexy arm candy on the show. So we would go to different theaters and perform this chair dance with, and it was like 10 girls, 11 girls that we would be performing with. So yeah, we were always into entertainment.
Okay. And Abel, you ended up being a stand-in for Smollett's love interest on Empire, right?
Yes, correct. I was a stand-in for Jussie Smollett's love interest.
Okay. And was it around that time that you guys got to know Jussie?
It was before that time. So I met Jussie, I believe, in 2016/17. And it had nothing to do with Empire, how I met him. I met Jussie through a mutual friend of ours. And he invited me to go to Jussie's house, and that's how I met him.
Okay. So you guys met, and then you ended up being a stand-in, for an associated character on Empire. And did you guys start working out together at some point?
Okay, so yes. So Jussie actually helped me get that stand-in role. He asked me. So let me tell you a story. Before he asked me about the stand-in role, and I knew that there was a stand-in role, he had asked me, was I comfortable playing a gay character on TV randomly? And I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'm comfortable playing a gay character on TV, but I can physically, like, I know how to play a gay character, but I don't know if I'm comfortable doing that on TV. So that was my answer to him. But so fast forward, he's the one that helped me get the stand-in role, and yeah.
He was asking about the working out. When did
Oh,
y'all start working out?
so when we started working out, yeah, so we did. So the workout was really me just showing him certain techniques of how to do variations of push-ups and certain things. We weren't like having sessions where I would work him out.
Okay. So did you guys start to kind of become friends, during this time?
Yes, we did start to become friends.
Okay. So you guys are working out sometimes, you guys are socializing. But according to police reports, at one point, he started to hit you up for drugs. According to police reports, for ecstasy, marijuana, and cocaine. And I guess that he would use Venmo and PayPal to pay for some of these transactions?
I don't think I have a PayPal account. Sorry, Elon Musk, but I think he used the Venmo. I believe he used the Venmo only. So, well, he asked me to help him get it because, an actor going out to, first of all, he's not from Chicago, so he doesn't know too many people. So he asked me to procure certain drugs for him, and I would help him. At that time, I was working as a bouncer at a club or at a rooftop spot, so I knew people, you understand, that do certain things like that. So he would ask me if I could help him get certain things, and I said sure. So I wasn't selling drugs to him. I was just like the middleman. He asked me, hey, can you help me get this? And I said, oh, sure, I'll get this for you. And that's how that went.
Right, but isn't it a little crazy to be paying for that with Venmo? I mean, like, did you get purchase protection when paying you and stuff like that?
Hey, I mean, yeah, it is. It's a little wild, but how else would he pay? You never expect anyone to blow it up and go through your records,
right?
So that's
Yeah.
why. Yeah.
Okay, so then we fast forward to early 2019, and Jussie texted you, said, might need your help on the low. You around and meet up and talk face to face.
Correct.
So you guys decided to meet with him after that text.
Yes, I did. Yes.
You did. And tell me about that meeting at that point.
Okay, so he hit me up via text and asked, hey, he needs my help. Can we meet? That he needs to tell me something on the low. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I got you. That after I work out at the gym, I'll come meet you. So he told me to come to Cinespace. Cinespace is the place where they shoot a lot of Chicago shows, and including Empire. So I went to Cinespace, and I was waiting for him, and then he texted me to come out through the breezeway, to come to his car. And when I came to his car, he now started driving. He was driving me towards my home. Towards the directions of my home. And then, yeah, that was that. And that's where he told me the plan, what he wanted me to do.
Okay, and what was his plan at that time?
So he was smoking weed. He was smoking weed, just telling me, he was talking about how the studio sent him, or how the studio wasn't taking the hate mail letter seriously. So he got sent a hate mail letter that had someone had him hanging from a tree, and I think it said MAGA country, it said die black faggot empire, it had the N-word. So then he told me how they weren't taking this seriously, and then he was smoking, just chilling. He just came out. I want you to beat me up. Me, I'm looking like, maybe this dude high. I just looked. I didn't say anything. He saw me looking. He turned to me like, well, this dude's silent. He turned to me, and then he was like, yeah, I want you to fake beat me up. So I was like, what do you mean? And then he said, yeah, I want you to fake beat me up so to make it look real and whatnot. I don't know if the hate letter was fake. he never mentioned that to me. He never said he sent himself the letter or anything. So that we have no idea about that. But then eventually he did say that we would need somebody else. That do I think my brother would do it? I was like, without hesitation, I said, hell yeah, my brother would do it. Damn right. And so then he said, can we trust him? I said, yeah, we could trust him. So by that time, I think we were headed to my house. And then he said, how can we ask my brother? Lo and behold, when we got to my house, my brother was right there. He just happened to be there. It was like divine timing. And I told my brother to hop in the car. And then he hopped in the car, and that's when he started talking to Jussie.
Yeah. So when I hop in the car, I was actually throwing out the garbage and picking up the mail. So as I'm about to walk back in the crib, I have to walk through the alley to get back in the house. And as I'm walking through the alley, the black Mercedes pulls up and they roll down the windows and tell me to hop in. So I hop in the car, and first thing Jussie asks me is, can I trust you? I'm like, yeah, you could trust me. And he asked me again, no, can I trust you? And I was like, yeah, bro, you could trust me. What's going on? Then he goes on to tell me about the hate letter that was sent to Empire Studios and that they weren't taking it seriously. So he wants us to pretend to be MAGA hat wearing white boys and pretend to beat them up and yell all these racial slurs at them. And that he's gonna get the footage and post it on social media and all that.
Well, at some point, you must have thought this is crazy. I mean, both of you.
Of course. I mean, from the initial jump, he told me, I want you to beat me up. I was like, man, it must be the weed or something. I ain't give him no X or anything else, so it ain't that. It must be the weed. He tripping off weed, but whatever. Yes, I thought what he was asking me to do was crazy. But eventually, like during the ride, he did tell me this. I don't know if you were in the car at that time, but he did tell me, no, I don't think you were in the car. He said, yeah, a lot of stuff that you see is made up. It's not real. He mentioned the Kim Kardashian situation. So this is around the time Kim Kardashian had got not arrested. She got robbed. I don't know if kidnapped, but she got robbed in France, I believe. So then he said, yeah, that was made up. That was staged. So I'm thinking like, whoa, this is crazy. This is how Hollywood is? This is some Hollywood shit. And we're actors. We're professional actors. We had been on Chicago PD by that time already. So I'm thinking like, okay, shit, I guess we are part of Hollywood now. And this is what it takes to be in Hollywood. So, okay, let's do it. So, yeah, we did think it was bonkers.
Okay, so the next morning, he picked you guys up to like do a dry run of the whole situation?
Exactly. Yeah, he picked us up in the morning to do the dry run, to take us to the location where he wanted the fake attack to happen. And he showed us where a camera was, a direction where a camera was that would capture us fighting, the altercation between him and us.
Okay, and he paid you guys $3,500 with another $500 after you guys were done?
That he still hasn't given us to this day.
Yeah.
Yes, he did pay us.
I mean, $4,000, that's $2,000 a person to do something of this caliber with a high profile person with cameras around and cell phones and triangulation and, potential police reports. I mean, that seems pretty low.
Wait a sec. Wait a second.
We got to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah. We would have done this for $0.
No, we did. We were gonna do it for free. He mentioned the money after.
He offered the money.
Offered the money after.
We did this because he's a big actor, and we
On the
are
#1 show, Empire.
#1 show in the world, and we're coming up. So we're like, okay, if we help this brother out, he's gonna help us out with our careers. So the money was never the motive.
At all. At all. We didn't even care about the money. He just said, hey, I'm going to give you this after we had already agreed to it. And we said, okay, whatever. But it was not about the money. It was about our careers and what it can help. It's about who you know, not what you know. Acting is like that. The world is like that. Let's be real. So.
Okay, fair enough. And just like the whole Venmo drug situation, he wrote you guys a check for $3,500. And I guess he put 5-week nutrition workout program to try to cover his tracks.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They just said he wrote a check saying for a fake hoax attack. No, he did not write a check saying that. He was actually trying to be smart by writing a check saying a 5-week nutrition program. Since he knows that we do sometimes train people at that time. So he wrote it trying to cover his tracks. So a lot of people think that he's dumb for writing a check. He was actually smart for writing a check.
And we did write him out a nutritional program prior to that.
We did, yes.
Okay. At some point during this time, did you try to talk him out of it? Did you try to say, Jussie, this is not going to work? Like this is all going to fall apart. And now you're involving multiple people and so forth. There's now 3 people involved in this conspiracy. Like, come on, think of something different to do.
No, conspiracy, not a conspiracy.
Not a conspiracy at all, because there was no crime being done.
And we were paid, and we were hired actors. We are hired actors. We weren't coming up with the theme at all or anything. We didn't come up with anything.
Well, no, I mean conspiracy on his end, though. Like he's creating this whole fake situation and he's involving you guys in it. Did you at some point say, yo, Jussie, like this is crazy. Like, come on. Like,
we didn't have time to think about that.
It's not even having time. It's just he's up there already. So I think he knows what he's doing. Like this is what he's talked to people. He knows what he's doing.
This is Hollywood shit.
Yeah, he's gonna use it for whatever he's gonna use it for. Who am I to tell him, hey, don't do, like, I don't know what the hell they doing over there in Hollywood. Like, I have no clue. I'm working to get up there. I'm not there yet.
okay, fair enough. So he gives you guys a $3,500 check. You guys all decide how this is done. So then you guys go and start purchasing the equipment for this whole situation. You go to a hardware store in Ravenswood where you buy some rope. That's all caught on camera. You also go to a clothing store where you guys bought gloves, ski masks, and red hats. That's all caught on camera as well. Were you guys nervous making these purchases, knowing that there's cameras around and so forth, or not really?
It was a beauty supply store, not a clothing store. But no, we weren't nervous because we didn't think we were doing anything wrong. Like, there was nothing to be nervous about. There was no crime being committed. It was just another day. We actually went to those stores. The store where we bought the rope from, it was across the street from where we did laundry. So it was while we were doing laundry, we just walked across the street and looked for rope and bought it right there. So no, it was just another day.
Okay, so January 29th, 2019. According to phone records, you guys actually talked to Jussie before the situation, right?
Correct.
Okay, and how did that phone call go?
So he was calling us to inform us that his plane was going to be delayed because of the weather. So I believe it was a storm at that time. And we were supposed to do it around 9-10 p.m. on the 28th. But since his plane was delayed, we had to figure out a new time to do the fake attack. And that's why he was contacting us via phone and Instagram messages. He was actually posting stories on his Instagram to let me, I guess, to tell me, or he was just posting it to saying his plane was delayed. And that's how we were contacting each other.
This was around 2:30 a.m. or something like that?
So
the actual fake attack happened around 2:05 2:06 around that time, a.m.
Okay, so Jussie is outside getting a Subway sandwich around 2 a.m. and suddenly two guys wearing MAGA hats run upon him. Tell me how the situation actually happened.
Okay, so only one of us had a red hat. It wasn't an actual MAGA hat. It was just a red hat. And that's because they don't sell MAGA hats in Chicago. And the
super liberal city.
yeah,
Blue.
the beauty supply that we bought the hats
GD
from
Blue.
only had one red hat left. So that's why only one person was wearing a red hat. So what happens is we get there at 2 a.m., like the spot where we're supposed to meet. We're supposed to meet them at the end of the stairs and collide exactly at 2 a.m. and go through the whole skit. But he's late. He doesn't show up exactly at 2 a.m. So me and my brother walk to this bench and sit at the bench and just freezing our asses off.
Cold as balls.
Yeah, just freaking freezing. And we're waiting and we're like, it felt like we're out there forever. So we're just waiting and we're like, if he's not here in the next couple of minutes, we're leaving.
Out of there.
Yeah, it was too cold. Too cold.
Yeah.
So about 4 minutes pass by and we see Jussie walking, mind you, from the wrong direction. He was supposed to be coming from another direction, but he's coming from the wrong direction. My brother catches him from the corner of his eye. So we're like, okay, that's him. Let's go. And that's when the whole thing starts and commences.
Yeah, that's when we began to the altercation. But before that, we were there for we got there early. We got there like 20 to 30 minutes early. So walking through the polar vortex was terrible. Mind you, we had hand warmers and we put the hand warmers in our toes and we were layered up. Dressed in all black, but it was cold, colder than penguin feet. It was unbearable. And people think, oh, were you having thoughts of not doing it? Not because of what we were doing, but because of how cold it was. I was like, man, let's just go home, man. This shit is crazy. Home is much warmer than this. So, and before the attack, like a day prior or when Jussie told us about doing an attack, we had formed characters for ourselves. We were going to be white Southerners that hated Jussie or white racist Trump supporters. So I named him Bubba. His name was Bubba, and he never gave me a name. So as we were, so we had to talk like Southerners or how we thought Southerners talk, our impression of what they talk like. We did that. We were even walking like weirdly, not weirdly, but like how they would walk. Uncharacteristic of how we walk. That's what we were doing. So we were in character the whole time.
Even in the cab ride over there, we were in character. Even so much that when the cab driver was, investigated, was questioned by the police, he told the police that it was white guys that he drove. He said it was white guys that he drove. But we were all covered up, so the cab driver couldn't see what we were under there. He just heard us talking as we were talking to each other in our white Southerner voices.
Okay, so the staged attack happens. You guys start yelling racial and homophobic slurs at him. And who actually hit him?
So I fake hit him. I didn't even really hit him for real. So I like went across his face like that. And then, so initially, so what I said was, hey, that's what I said. And to get his attention. And I said, hey, aren't you that Empire faggot? And then he turned around. Hey, what you say to me? And then I said, yeah, you heard me. Aren't you that Empire faggot nigger? And then that's when I threw the punch at him. And then we started tussling. Wrestling and whatnot, and I made it look like he fought back and like made him push me a little bit, and then I grabbed him and threw him to the ground. boom. And then that's when I started like fake kicking them. And then that's when my brother came and he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I was in charge of the rope and the bleach. Put the rope around his face. I didn't put it around his neck and had it all tangled up and twirled up as people saw in the police footage. I just put it on his face and threw the bleach on him. Then ran away after that because there was a car driving up with its headlights on, and once we saw that, we got out of there.
Yeah, we got out of there. We also had to mention, so there were key words he wanted us to mention. The empire, he wanted us to mention faggot, he wanted us to mention nigger, he wanted us to mention this is MAGA country. So we had to say all those words in there. So the last thing we said, this is MAGA country, before I stole off him, before I punched him, fake punched him, of course. And then after I threw him to the ground, he didn't have no bruise, and to make it more real, I had to like put my knuckle out, give him a noogie. So I pull my knuckle out, and then I started twisting his face, but I didn't like. I made it look, like I was punching him or whatever, but I was really giving him a noogie on his face. So that's how he got a scar on his face. And then that's when my brother put the rope on him, and I saw the headlights. I got out of there. I got little and got out of there because I didn't know, I didn't want them to like call the police or see it because, police weren't supposed to be involved. He never told us police were supposed to be involved.
Okay, well, after the staged attack happens, he calls 911, said that he was attacked, and Chicago Police Department shows up at his apartment. And I remember seeing the video of him in the apartment with the police showing up, and he had the noose around his neck in his apartment. That was the moment that I said, okay, this is all bullshit. Like, this is ridiculous. Anyone who gets attacked and someone tries to hang them with a noose, the last thing in the world they're going to do is just hang out with that noose until the police show up. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And that's what people knew that, something is up. This does not sound right. Like, a victim will not wear a noose just to prove that he was attacked. You don't have to prove you were attacked if you were attacked. You just were attacked. And you're going to be like, yeah, they had this thing on my neck. They put this on. And first of all, if the camera footage that you thought was going to capture it, why would you still have the noose on your neck? So that's where his thing fell apart. His story fell apart.
Well, the police started to question him about the story. He refused to turn over his phone. He refused to submit to something called a buccal swab test that would eliminate his DNA from the rope that was around his neck. He initially told the police he was talking to his manager before the attack, but then when they looked at the phone records and they saw that he was talking to you guys, he said, yeah, I talked to them also because I'm trying to get shredded before this new video shoot. But at that point, they're still looking for persons of interest and so forth. And everyone's presenting this whole situation as, oh, Jussie just got attacked. I remember he was at a show and he got on the mic and he said, I fought the fuck back. I'm the gay Tupac.
Oh,
Yeah.
When you guys heard the gay Tupac line, what'd you think?
insane, crazy. When we heard that, I was annoyed a little bit. Like, damn, you disrespecting Tupac? I didn't know you wanted to take it this far. That was extreme. Saying I'm the gay Tupac. I fought back. But okay, whatever. We were in Nigeria at that time. So we were just looking at it via Twitter, I think. You were looking at it via Twitter.
Yeah. And it was actually in Nigeria once when we found out that the police were involved as well. We found out the police were involved, and that got us kind of nervous, you feel me? Because the police weren't supposed to be involved in the first place. It was supposed to be something that he was supposed to put onto social media. And what went through my head was, okay, it must have been that person that saw us drive, that was driving and that had the headlights on us, that probably called the cops. I never knew it was Jussie that called the cops until later on.
Well, on February 13th, the police raided your home.
Yeah.
And I guess they found the $3,500 check or records of it.
No.
Not at the home, not
No.
when they raided the house. They found the check.
They didn't find the
They
check.
didn't find the check.
After we cooperated, we're the ones that told them about the check and everything. They had no clue about the check.
Okay, and then on February 15th, you guys were both arrested?
No, we
No,
were
no, no.
arrested before February 15th. We were arrested on February
I think
12th or
The
13th.
13th, yeah.
So a day before Valentine's Day.
We were arrested at the airport.
At the
getting
airport.
off the plane.
Getting off the plane.
Okay. How did you feel when you're suddenly arrested for this whole situation that you thought was just gonna, blow over?
So funny thing is, we weren't sitting together on the plane. So he initially got off the plane and then I got off the plane. But something was happening that I've never seen happen before when you get off a plane. There was a custom agent checking passports. Like he wanted everyone to have their passports out so they could read the name and see the face. So when it got to me, they said, "Hey, follow me." I was like, what the hell? Damn, they got me. And mind you, before that, I was already thinking, I had told my brother, like, man, I feel like the police already knows that it was us. Because they're not saying certain information. They're saying until investigation continues. So they know it's us. They just don't want to scare us. So we don't not come back to America. So they were not releasing a lot of information. And lo and behold, they did know it was us.
That's
they
exactly
knew,
what happened.
They knew it was us from three days into the investigation, into their investigation. So when we got there, the custom agent took me. I don't know what was happening with him. After they took me, they had me go get my luggage. After I got my luggage, they were searching it, looking for contraband. I don't do illegal things, so there was no contraband. And they let me go. They said I'm free to go. I'm like, damn, okay. That's weird, but shit, I'm free to go. Let's go. And then as soon as I was walking out through the door to leave, 2 big-ass police officers come. Hey, are you so-and-so? Follow us. Oh, damn. So then they took me to a back room and they asked me for my phone. I gave them my phone and they never told us or told me why they were questioning me or why they wanted me. I told them I want to speak to my lawyer. That's all I did. And then after that, they took me to the precinct. To the main precinct, the police precinct.
Yep, and the same thing that happened with him happened exactly with me. Customs agent picked me out, took me to my luggage. After they went through my luggage, they let me go. Then the 2 officers came, picked me up, took me to the room. They asked me, do I want to say anything? Do I want to talk to them? They didn't tell me what the whole matter was about. They didn't say what it was about. They just asked if I would talk to them, and I said no, that I would wait for my lawyer. So they didn't ask me another question after that.
Did you guys try to contact Jussie during this time?
No, we did not. I didn't have his number. And the first phone call I made was to, I believe, my sister, to tell her where I was, but I didn't have his number. I had no way of contacting him because they took our phones.
We would have if we had his number. That's definitely.
Yeah.
And we actually try to have our lawyer once we had a lawyer, we try to have our lawyer contact them as well. But
to no avail.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys get arrested and the police approach Jussie to tell him that the 2 of you have been arrested in connection to this case. And when they told him, he was pretending to be shocked, I guess because of your skin color. And he said, oh, there's black as sin.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, we don't have any issues. They're straight, so we don't have any problems with women or men. They did not owe me any money. I don't owe them any money. We have a good relationship. Kind of a weird sort of statement, honestly.
Very weird. And notice he said we don't have a problem with men or women. They're straight. He came out and said that. We didn't say any of that. That's very key and important to note, because later on he switches it up. He says something different. But he says that. And also during that time, or a time after when he came in again, they asked him, they told him it was us that were the ones. That was
That's
Bola
right.
and Ola.
Yep.
That it was them that attacked you. He was willing to sign a complaint against us in order to lock us up for a hate crime. It's in police records. He was willing to sign a complaint. He said, yes, he would sign the complaint and send us to jail for a hate crime. His lawyer had advised him not to, stopped him, and said they would come back and revisit the matter.
Okay. And then on February 20th, Jussie was arrested and charged with felony disorderly conduct. When you guys heard of that, how'd you feel?
We knew it was coming. A lot of things people are saying is like we were snitches. We snitched on them. It seems like we get a lot of backlash too, saying that we snitched on them or something. But what people don't understand is there was nothing to snitch about. This wasn't supposed to be have the police involved in the first place. And me and my brother found out that it was actually Jussie that involved the police from our lawyer while we're in lockup. And that's what made me be like, okay, like, this is not what you said we were gonna do. You just said this was gonna go on social media. So I'm telling these people everything, like, and we try to already get in contact with you and everything. So
yeah, you switched it up on us. You didn't tell us what you really intended to do, which were his intentions, I believe wholeheartedly. And there's one thing about us that you got to understand, Africans and Nigerians in particular. We do not like involving ourselves with police.
We don't play with the police.
Police matters. It was him. We do not involve police. We don't like that. So when he did that, that's, threw everything in the air. And we were like, okay, whatever. We got to be honest. And we were honest from the jump.
Yeah. Okay, so then March 8th, Jussie gets indicted on 16 felony counts for filing a false police report. He pleads not guilty. But then on March 26th, Jussie's lawyers reached a deal with the prosecutors where all charges were dropped in return for Smollett doing community service and forfeiting his $10,000 bond. From what I understand, you guys felt kind of a certain type of way about this whole situation.
Hell yeah.
When all the charges were dropped.
Hell, come on, man. I'm like, this is some crazy ass shit. Cause look, now people are gonna think we really attacked this man.
That we did really commit a hate crime.
Because when you look back at it, the dude came out, they didn't have him say he had to say
Admit
sorry, admit guilt, nothing like that. He just comes out and says, I wouldn't be my mother's child if I did this. You see, I'm innocent, woo, 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 wah, wah, wah. I'm like, man, this is wild. This is really wild. Like, and I felt like there was nothing we could do at the time. There was nothing we can do at the time. The prosecutor's office didn't even tell us they was gonna do this. They didn't even tell the superintendent of the police that they were gonna do
this. Or the mayor that they were gonna do it.
The mayor was mad as shit. The
Superintendent Eddie Johnson was mad.
Everybody was mad.
Rahm Emanuel was very upset. They said Rahm Emanuel said it was a whitewash of justice. Those were his words. They were pretty upset that they weren't informed of the decision of the state's attorney at the time. And everyone, Chicago was mad because they're like, okay, what's going on? So did he really get attacked? Oh, you should have heard the flack that we got from different people, even family members, people questioning us. What really happened? Did you really attack him?
Because there was no explanation.
Yeah.
None.
And there were people coming out by that time saying my brother and I were homophobic. So I believe that there were people that they had talked. His camp, some people in his camp had talked to extras that worked on Empire to say that my brother and I were homophobic, that I said that I would never work with a faggot, that I hate faggots, that anytime I got around them, that I was just weird about them. I would go away somewhere else and talk bad about them. They said this on the news. This is on the news.
And the funny thing about that is they said that it happened while me and my brother were on set together. But what they don't know is we were never on set
on Empire
together.
Never have we worked on Empire set.
So that could have been
show it.
That was debunked easily.
Yes.
Okay. Well, after essentially the case was dropped against Jussie, like you said, everyone was in an uproar. The Chicago Police Union wanted a federal probe into the case. Like you said, the lawyer called it a whitewash of justice. Donald Trump actually called it an embarrassment to the country at a rally. And the Chicago police sued Jussie for $130,000 for the cost of the police investigation on the 12th. And then on the 23rd, you guys actually sued Smollett's lawyers for defamation?
Yeah.
Correct. We did. We sued them for defamation because they were saying things in the media, in the public eye, that was defaming our character and slandering us. The one that has stuck is the whiteface, about the whiteface. His lawyer has suggested that I might have been wearing whiteface to attack Jussie, which is just slanderous. Do you know the implications of wearing whiteface? Because when you think about the history, wearing blackface is a terrible thing to do. So to now say that me as a black person would wear whiteface, that's a slap in the face of my ancestors, of our ancestors.
Okay, well, with all the nonsense that was happening, on May 13th, Fox actually canceled Empire after season 6 and announced that Jussie's not going to be coming back to the show. On August of that year, Dave Chappelle did the Sticks and Stones Netflix special where he created the whole Jussie Smollett character.
A French actor.
The French actor Jussie Smollett. When you guys saw the Dave Chappelle Netflix stand-up, what'd you think?
Oh my God, I was on the floor laughing. I couldn't. Dave Chappelle's a legend, you know, and for him to be talking about that and then even mentioning Gus was just unreal, surreal. It was crazy. And you know him, he's hilarious. So it was fun or funny to watch, to be watching that.
Okay, so that happens. And then on February 11th, 2020, Jussie Smollett, okay, I'm messing up. Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett was indicted by a special prosecutor for lying to the Chicago police, which he pled not guilty to. They tried to get the charges thrown out, didn't work. And then right around February 12th, that's when the new case, the federal case started, and you guys were at the heart of this new case. Now, essentially, his lawyers try to paint a very interesting picture of this whole thing. Basically, what they said was that Abel had a sexual relationship with Jussie and was mad, and this is why Abel created this whole thing. When you heard about, okay, so number one, did you ever have a gay relationship with Jussie?
I never had no sexual relationship with Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. Never. No. Never, not a kiss, not a holding hands. You know, I hold hands with my brother, you know, but not Jussie Smollett. No, I never did anything sexual with Jussie.
Okay. In court, though, they said that you went with Jussie to the Steamworks bathhouse together.
Correct.
Is this true?
That is true.
Okay. Now, isn't this like a gay establishment, essentially?
Essentially, it is. My first time going there, I didn't know it was a gay bathhouse. But after, we went there about 2-3 times. And initially, the first time I didn't know, but I said we can go there. It was with our mutual friend, the friend that actually introduced me to Jussie. So so I can't say anything about the first time. Okay, the second, third time, why would I go to somewhere like that is because Jussie's, like I said, the reason why my brother and I even agreed to do the fake attack, he's someone that can help us in our career. So Jussie he was a friend, one, and two, he wanted to go somewhere, so I was gonna accompany him to what he wanted to do. Being a friend and also knowing that he can help us out in our careers. So I went there with him. The gay bathhouse has a sauna, has a fitness gym, has a hot tub. And that's where we would go in.
He did ask about a co-ed one as well, but they said they don't know about no co-ed ones.
Yeah, they asked. I did ask, like, come on, man, how many times we gonna go to this one? Can we go to the co-ed one? And then they said, because it's a pretty interesting place when you think about it. So I'm thinking, damn, is there a co-ed one for that? Like this? And they said, oh, there's some Russian one, but it's closed. It just happened to be closed. That's what they said. And I was like, okay, whatever. I wasn't gonna argue.
And to be frank, if they had asked me to go, I would have went as well. Like me and my brother, we don't judge anybody. We don't judge you if you're gay, Homo sapien, whatever you are.
He said Homo sapien.
We don't care. Like
Homo erectus.
I've been to gay clubs, gay bars. Like as long as you respect me, I'm gonna respect you.
Yeah, we're people at the end of the day. We're all the same. So.
Right. Well, you had to get on the stand, and his lawyer asked if gay pornography was played on the televisions inside the spa. You said, I don't recall. He said, do you remember masturbating with him? You said no.
Come on, man.
Who does that? Do gay people actually do that? They just sit around and masturbate with each other? Is that something that
I'm not gay? I don't know. I don't know how this works, man. You'll have to ask Jussie. You know what I mean?
He said we masturbated together and then we made out. No, that never happened. Never. No. False. That's negative.
Okay, well, thank you for clearing that up. Well, then on December 9th, 2021, Jussie was found guilty of orchestrating a fake hate crime. The old police chief actually said if he would have just apologized, they would have just dropped the charges. But since he kept on saying that I didn't do anything, this is a conspiracy, whatever, they decided to go all the way with it. And then on March 10th, 2022, he gets sentenced to 150 days in jail and 30 months probation and fined $145,000. And I remember in the courtroom, when he heard the verdict, he started to yell. He said, I did not do this, and I'm not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go there, I did not do this to myself, and you must all know that.
Gay Tupac.
When you saw this whole yelling, that's Tupac for you? Oh,
the gay Tupac. The gay Tupac. Sound like something the gay Tupac would do, right?
Yeah, right. That was just insane what he was doing. He was acting like he was going to get Epstein. I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. Dude, ain't nobody finna kill you. Nobody thinks anybody's going to kill you. But it's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show. And the world is a stage and he's going to act. He's going to play his part. And that's what he was doing. And that's what he continues to do to this day.
Yeah.
To this day. That's Deontay Wilder.
Right. Okay. Well, he gets sent to jail. The mayor actually spoke and supported the jail time. Jussie said he only got sent to jail because he's black.
No.
And then at one point, I guess he was in the psych ward and they moved him out. He started, he requested an emergency release because of threatening phone calls and so forth. And then on March 17th, he gets let out on bond pending an appeal. He had only served 6 days in jail at that point. When you found out that he got out, what'd you think?
This man knows some people in some high places, man. Like who the hell goes to jail and spends 5 days and gets out right after that? So yeah, it was. But I didn't really feel. I didn't feel bad that he got out either because honestly, I didn't even wish jail time on him to begin with. I was thinking they was gonna give him probation or something, but the judge wasn't playing with him because he wasn't remorseful at all. He didn't admit to it, and till the end, he kept to his gun. So the judge was like, "Okay, I gave you a chance to come out and be truthful, and this is what you're gonna do, 150 days." So yeah, I didn't really feel any type of way about it.
Yeah, I thought that was the normal process, that okay, you file an appeal and then you're out until the appeal is heard by the appellate court. But that's not how it's done. I've heard that no one gets out that quickly. So that goes to show you that there's a big classism at play when it comes to that, because a normal person would still be just sitting in jail. So I don't feel any type of way if they allowed it. That's the justice. That is the justice system. So let it play out.
Right, and he's still out right now, right?
Correct.
Awaiting appeal?
I
Yep.
believe so. Yes.
Yeah, and I think he did an interview with Sway where he continues to deny the whole thing. He's innocent. It's a setup. It's because he's gay. It's because he's black. It's whatever.
Being black
and
is,
I guess... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, being black has nothing to do with it. It has more to do with classism. But we're black too, right? And it's arguable that we're blacker than Jussie. And why I'm saying that is he's half white. You know, I believe his father is white, and both of our parents are black. And it's sad because the BLM group, the actual organization, came out in support of him, saying that they believe Jussie. Where does that put us, the little black guys? Oh, I guess we're not black no more. I know black, like the Dominicans say. Like they say the Dominicans say, I know black. I guess we know black then. So yeah, that was a shame. Like that's hurtful that they were supporting him. He had people writing letters. I believe Samuel Jackson and his wife wrote a letter for him and supported him. Ain't nobody write a letter for us. Nobody came out supporting us, but we're not asking for your support. Trust me, we're not. But I'm just saying, it just goes to show that the classism that's involved.
Were you guys actually charged with anything or no?
We didn't commit no crimes. What is there to be charged with?
We were never charged. We didn't commit any crime. The crime was filing a false police report. We were paid actors, so we were never charged with anything. We didn't do anything wrong legally.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I guess Jussie's lawyer filed a lawsuit in response to the defamation lawsuit that you guys filed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So is that still ongoing?
So that got thrown out about a month ago, and the judge gave them an option to refile it. So they've refiled it again. So we're back in court again with the same thing. It's gonna get thrown out again, but they're just reaching at this point.
Right. I'm sure it's a hassle to deal with right now.
It is.
Oh, it's a lot.
It definitely is.
And we thank our lawyer, Gloria. She's doing a tremendous job with that.
So after that night when the staged attack happened, did you talk to Jussie at all? Had any sort of contact with him? Anything?
No contact with him since then. No.
Okay. If Jussie were to walk in the room right now, what would you tell him?
You crazy as hell, bro. What's good? How you feeling? That's it.
Yeah, it's no ill,
animosity.
Yeah, none of that with him. Like I'm a child of God, so I've forgiven him.
Yeah, we are men of faith, and I hold no ill will towards Jussie. So if I seen him walk in, it's all love.
It's all love.
Like with everybody, it's all love for us.
Well, how do you feel in terms of the bigger picture? Because hate attacks really happen every day. You know, I mean, you could take it back to Emmett Till or even earlier, where people get beat up, hurt, killed over being black, being Jewish, being Muslim, being Asian, and so forth. And this really created a fiasco over these types of very, very serious situations. And you guys are unfortunately part of this. When you think about it, how do you feel?
Yeah, when I think about that now, I do feel kind of bad for being a part of it because at the beginning, I really didn't look at the big picture. I was just thinking it's some Hollywood stuff that he wants to do to help his activism career or whatever. So thinking back on it, I wish I really thought about it more before I really agreed to doing this. I allowed my ambition to overpower my judgment.
Our reasoning, yeah. So we were very ambitious. Yeah, we still are ambitious, but we might just go about it in a different way now. But we didn't reason. We didn't use our reasoning skills, our logical thinking skills at the time to actually think about the whole picture, the bigger picture of what we were actually doing.
Portraying, yeah.
So we think about it now. Hindsight is 2020. We think about it now and we see all the negativity that it can and has bring, and that's all.
Do you think that at some point Jussie's going to come clean and say, okay, here's what really happened, and yes, I staged the whole thing? Or do you think he's going to be defiant to his last breath and say that he's a victim and this really was a real attack?
No chance in hell. He is not coming clean. No way, Jose. Hell no.
It's too far down the rabbit hole.
Man, that guy, he's taking it to the grave, literally. When God says, hey, come here, he's going to lie to God and say, God, I ain't do it. I ain't do it. I'm telling you, he will. He's going to take it to the grave and beyond. He can't. He won't. And look at the position he's in. He was an activist, and his family were activists. They're heavy on that. So him coming clean and saying he actually did that's going to be a slap in their face. I heard his mom had some dealings with the Black Panthers and whatnot. So you could see the type of history that's behind him. So it would be very bad for him to perpetrate a fake hate crime. So I don't think he would ever come clean. He's not in a position to. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Oh, I said he's not in a position to come clean.
Got it. Didn't one of you guys challenge Jake Paul to box?
Oh yeah. So actually, I challenged Jake Paul to box. I was on TMZ talking about it, and other African media channels talking about let's fight, let's have a fight. So when Hasim Rahman fell out, I said, replace me, Jake. Jake's been boxing longer than I have. And so I started boxing about 4 years ago. He's been boxing about 5 years, but I'm way better than him. I'm a million times better than him. But he's a little scary. We actually want to do a tag team, like a double team, like my brother and I versus Jake Paul and Logan Paul. And let's do it. My brother will face Logan Paul. I'll face Jake Paul. Let's do it. Shit. Let's see who's
They're not ready.
The old bros versus the P bros. The Osundairos versus the Pauls. Let's get it. But he ducking. They ducking. But we gonna make it happen. We gonna make something happen. Trust me.
Look, he's only been 4 years in the game. He just turned professional last year, June, and he's ranked number 25 in the world.
WBC, yeah.
Number 1 in Africa.
Yeah.
With only 6 fights.
Only 6 fights. I'm the WBC African Continental Champion, so I already have a championship belt with only 6 fights, and this is unprecedented. Nobody does this. Nobody has done this. My first fights have been against undefeated fighters, and not saying anything about Floyd. Floyd didn't do that, but Floyd is a GOAT. He's the GOAT. I salute Floyd, but he didn't do that. Mike Tyson didn't do that. They faced bums. Tomato cans, cab drivers in their first few fights. My first fight was against someone that was 3-0. You know, and my last fight, the one where I won the championship, was someone that was 11 and 1. 11 and 1. So I'm facing people that are very good, you know, great boxers. And Jake Paul, come on, man. You acting scary. You went to go fight Tommy Fury. You lost to him, whatever. Okay. Now
first of all, that was his first actual boxer that he fought. And even, what's his name? Tommy Fury? A bum.
A straight bum.
He's a bum. He's a cab driver.
I think he drives cabs. I was
Uber or some. Tommy Fury, a bum.
Yeah.
And he lost to Tommy Fury.
He lost to Tommy Fury.
Let's stop. He probably needs to put them gloves up.
Maybe
Put them gloves up.
Or I'm gonna make him put them up.
He's fighting another UFC fighter.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah. Another UFC.
Right.
And if he lose against him, he just need to call it a day.
I don't think he'll lose against him. I don't even think he'll lose against Tommy Fury, but you know, he did. And Tommy Fury really didn't do much, but it is what it is.
Well, there you have it. Ola and Abel, appreciate you guys coming in and sharing your story. This is something that's really perplexed the whole world as to what happened, because you always heard all these weird spatterings of different sides of the story and videos, and Jussie's, you know, the whole time he's denying the whole thing. So no one really knew exactly what happened, but I feel that after this interview, everyone knows exactly what happened. Everything you guys said really matches up with the police reports and all the research that I did up to this point. I don't feel like I caught you guys in any sort of lies or, you know, backtracking or anything else like that. Unlike Jussie, who's always changing his story and creating new situations. You know, at first it was some white guys, and then I think one of them was white, and then, I had a gay relationship with this guy. And, you know, I mean, like the story just kept evolving, and, I never spoke to him. I did speak to him. And, you know, it's
right,
the whole thing just makes no sense on his end and makes total sense on your end.
Right.
So I appreciate you guys clearing it all up.
No, thank you. There's another part where they said we were supposed to be deported. People still think that we're going to get deported, or asking, why haven't they been deported yet? Send those Africans back. Motherfucker, we just like you. We're the same. We're American citizens. Come deport us. Shit. If you can, you know, you can't deport us if you wanted to. I know you might not like us, maybe because we black, but shit, we here together, and we gonna be here together. Another thing is we do have a book coming out in June, July. A book about our situation, about who we are as people. It dives deeper into the Jussie Smollett situation, of course, but it's about our lives and who we are as people. So we have that, and then we have our podcast. Our podcast. YouTube channel, Osundairo Brothers.
The Osundairo Brothers. Our podcast is called The Big Hoax. You can follow that, subscribe and like. We talk about some crazy stuff on there. It's real good, actually.
Talk about current events and whatnot. And we have that. We have the Instagram, Team Abel, Team _ ABEL, Team Abel. And then he has his Instagram, his own personal Instagram.
Yeah, King Ola the Prince.
Yeah, and then Twitter is Osundairo Brothers, Team Abel again on Twitter. So we have those things going on. We're looking to still continue our entertainment career, entertainment business, and also we're still doing the influencer. We're willing to do influencer boxing. My goal as a boxer is to be world champion. And like I was saying earlier, I didn't come here to play. I'm really fighting the best of the best, and that's who I want. There's no boxer in my weight category, and even the weight categories above me, below me, that can see me. Ain't nobody seeing me, and they're not willing to see me. They're scared. I'm the best out right now. I'm the greatest of our generation, of our time. I am the greatest, and I'm going to prove it, and I'm willing to prove it now, tomorrow, yesterday, whenever. I'm willing to prove it, and you got to see me. You got to see me. It's inevitable. And if you want a payday, come see me, because I'm knocking heads off, and I'm taking names later. Come on.
Right. And I just want to point out that, Ola, you're wearing a MAGA hat with a slight alteration, where instead of the A, well, both of you are not wearing it. where instead of the A, you actually have Africa
Yes,
on
sir.
there.
Yes, sir.
And what does that stand for with the new hats?
Make Africa great again.
Keep going.
There we have it.
It's make Africa great again, you know, because we believe in Pan-Africanism. We believe Africa needs to be united socially and not culturally, but economically. We believe that together we're stronger, together we can. So we believe make Africa great again. So that's the thing. We selling these hats. We're the creators of this. We created this sign. We came up with that, the MAGA country with the MAGA hats. We did see Mike Tyson wearing it, like
A couple weeks ago.
yeah, we saw him. Yeah, we were like, come on, man, you took that from us because we were the first ones to wear it. We have a picture on TMZ with us with it 2021, right after I won the USA National Championships in boxing. We had a video and picture of us wearing it. So we're the creators and founders of this, and we are selling it on teamable.com or reach out to us on Instagram, and then you can cop you a hat.
That's what it is. Ola and Abel, man, appreciate you guys sitting down. And look, flip this negative into a positive.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
use the publicity from what happened to springboard your career into whatever you could turn into. You know, I mean, the Cash Me Outside girl is now worth millions of dollars by taking a bad situation and turning it into a legitimate career. First it was hip hop, now it's OnlyFans or whatever she wants to do it. But you know, Kim Kardashian turned a sex tape into
Right.
$1 billion empire. You know,
Empire.
an
Yeah.
empire. So
Exactly.
so you guys blowing up would not surprise me. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully this interview will be a stepping stone into that direction.
Catapult.
Amen.
Yeah, we pray that too. Oh yeah, and just like the Cash Me Outside girl, we do have our own OnlyFans. Make sure you check it out. It is on our
Okay.
Instagram, so you can check out the OnlyFans, and it's great content, of course.
I'll take your word for it. But go ahead.
You sure you don't want to sign up?
We gonna
You sure
need
you don't
No,
want
I'm
to
good.
check
I'm
it
good.
out? It's only
Jussie might sign up though. Jussie might
I
sign
think
up.
he
but I
might
won't.
already be
He might
signed up.
already be
He might
subscribed.
already be a member. Exactly.
Yeah.
Besides that, we do make music too. We have a single called Magic that's on all streaming platforms
By the Nigerian brothers.
by the Nigerian brothers, Magic. And it's a great song, and it's more like a club song or a song where you could dance to. Girls can dance to it.
That song's
So,
gonna blow up.
Yeah, it's gonna blow up when
It's
the
gonna
right
be in
ear is
every
heard.
strip
So,
club, every
yeah.
club in the
Yeah,
country.
it's nice.
Just wait.
It's nice. So yeah.
That's what it is, man. Wish you all the best. Until next time. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you. Peace.